I'm going to show you how to upload files in Sails.js and the borrowing JavaScript stack. I've been wanting to do this video for like the longest time, and I finally got to do it because a user of the borrowing stack ran into the issue of uploading multiple files in Sails. And I do know Sails really lets you do that pretty easy with the skipper middleware. But I wanted to solve that pain and just make it go away. And of course, also make a video so that anyone who in the future run into like, okay, how do I upload files in Sails.js and the borrowing stack? You could just look up this video. So now let's get into file upload in Sails and the borrowing JavaScript stack. Hello there, friend. So it has come to my attention that about 95% of the people who watch the videos on this channel don't subscribe. My goal is to get that number down to 50%. So if you're watching this video and you've liked it so far, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate if you do. Now let's get back into the video. So the first thing you need to know about uploading files in Sails is that Sails already have file upload built in using what we call Skipper. So Skipper makes file upload really easy because it's built on Node Stream. It's just phenomenal how this works really. So I right out of the box, if you have a Boeing JavaScript stack project, it's already supercharged with this skipper body parser, which make uploading files really easy based on node stream. You could use it for Express, but it comes built in Sails, right? And this is the format you'd say. So if you're using it in Express, you already, I think this is familiar with the rec. So give you rec.file and then you upload. So every upload is a stream, which means it's very efficient, is very performant. But we're going to use the sales hook uploads, which is this hook that makes it really neater. I like it being neat because it just gives you this um upload one and upload method on the sales global object that they are all async. So it's async awaits instead of you to use like the callback style which you saw earlier. You could just use this to do your file uploads. So I'm going to show you the demo project I have, and we're going to look at like I think four different scenarios of file uploads, and I'll show you the code for both the back end and the front end. The front end in this demo is written in React, but the same principle applies if you're using Vue or Svelte, or even if you're just doing plain old EJS. The same principle applies if you the sales file upload works for both traditional file uploads, which is form uploads, or Ajax. Okay, so this is a simple a single upload form which is built with the borrowing stack in React. So I already have, I think I already have my dev server running. Okay, I don't have it, so I'm going to start it. Says lift, and then I can pick a file. So I can pick a file. Let's pick this one. Let's pick this one. We could upload the file, just keeping it simple. And if we'll do check, so let's go to the code, go to VS Code. And so by default, files uploaded in Sales using Skipper by default will upload to your local file system under .tmp/uploads, right? So like this for development purposes. I'm going to show you what you do in production in a bit. So this is what we just uploaded. So to verify that again, if we go back here and we pick, let's pick a different file, pick a sales.conf image, why not? And we upload it, and if we check back in VS Code, look at, you see, this is what we just uploaded. You could see how fast that was and how, easy. So where's the code? What's making this happen? So two things. I would start from I should start from the backend. Single upload. By the way, before we do that, I should show you the things that I installed. The only thing that you have to install for this to work the way we set up, you should not to install anything and just use the rec.file. but I have the sales hook uploads installed, so you could run npm I sales hook uploads, and that will install it for you. And then you could just install it as is, and since we're doing development, we're just uploading to the temporary uploads folder. You don't need to set up anything. I'll show you how to do the setup if you want to upload elsewhere. All right, so this is the only thing we have. And then if you look at the action, uh, in Sales, when you're uploading files, you have to specify this files array in your action. So we're expecting an avatar. So the name here, the string should match the inputs, and here should be type ref. You could make it required or not. And then, we just our normal de facto exits. Then of course we're doing some error check. I'll show you how to do this. And here, this is all we have to do. Await sales upload one. So the sales hook uploads give us the dot upload, which is uploading multiple. Then upload one. This is very convenient. It's more like syntactic sugar, really, because it just makes sure that okay, you upload one. So it's really good for scenarios where you just want to upload one file for, like, let's say an avatar and stuff like that. And here I'm doing a check because if this is successful, we should have like an object back which will give us like the file descriptor, the name of the files, and some other information. But if it doesn't, then we should show like a badge request, no avatar uploaded. This is just basic check. And then I am console.login, upload avatar. I think I could show you that so you could see the what comes back. So you see the size, you see the type, the file name, the status, all right, and the name as well. Okay. So that's it for the backend. For the front end, which is React, in this case, we're using the initial use form helper to submit the form. And all we are submitting, of course, since it's a single file upload, it's just the avatar. This is a handler to handle submits. We're doing form.post to a single upload post endpoint that we have defined in our routes. Look at it. This is it, just this one. And here we'll just, this is what we use to display the error message. All this is provided by inertia. And here this is what we're doing. We're just setting the avatar data with e.target.files. We're just picking the first item in the array, because files is an array, and we're just interested in the first one. So files is a list technically, but then you could display errors because the way I was sending back the 400 status error, you could, this is classic way you handle errors in the boring stack. So that should be familiar. And so one thing you notice is the progress. Inertia provides you with a progress percentage. Of course, you want to customize this, but I just added it there for good measure, so you could just see how this could work. And then just a simple submit button, and that's it. That is it for like the single file upload. But the one issue that a user of the boring stack quickly ran into is multiple uploads, and this was a little bit tricky. Um, and I'll tell you why. But it's no fault of Sales. Sales already know how to upload multiple files, and with the sales.upload, which is the method that is given to you by the sales hook uploads, is super easy. So let's upload multiple files and let's see. So we're just gonna upload. Yeah, let's do this and this and this and this and this. Oh, because why not? And then we could upload successful. If we go here, you could see everything we just uploaded is all in here. So how does that work? First of all, the routes, got the routes, so multiple uploads. So that's the page and then the post. Then let's look at the action. So again, files, product images, this is the name I call it. And remember the name, the string was matched the inputs. Okay. This is how sales know that okay, we're expecting files to be streamed in this request. So let's let skipper handle that. And here we could see we're doing sales.upload. So this lets you upload multiple files at the same time. Then yeah, I'm just console.logging that. So if we check, we could see the console.log of everything we just uploaded. You could see that they are separate, you know. So there's an array of uploaded file metadata. All right. So that's literally it. So let's look at the multiple upload um JXS, which is the front end. So the while this was tricky, I spent a couple of hours trying to figure why in inertia, because I tried with just a traditional form and it could let me upload multiple files, but in inertia I couldn't do that. And I figured out because of a simple fact. Um Inertia by default, if it notices that your form has files, it will create form data for you, which is opinionated. And so what it does is if you have multiple files in an upload, it's going to do, like, let's say for our case, we have product images, it's going to do product images um at array index 0, array index 1, and so on. But in Sales and Skipper, we know how to stream files and we could reuse the same upstream sort of. So the same name for the input can be reused to stream multiple files. So if an input has multiple files in it, we could use the same name. So that's how Skipper is expecting. But Inertia is sending it in another format, and that was the cause of the problem the user who was using the borrowing stack was facing, and I also had to face, and now I've solved it. So what I ended up doing, which was suggested in the initial Discord, is to transform, because when you want to submit a form, Inertia lets you transform the form. So we could transform the form, the make our own form data, and then we could send the files in the shape that Skipper would expect. And that's it. And I discovered that if you have to do that every time it's going to be tedious. And of course, I want that pain to go away. So I made use form with uploads. This should be, going to definitely measure it in the templates. So use form with uploads just does that, which is it will create a new form data. Then first of all, because the way Sales Skipper work, I think most file uploads in most frameworks do the same. If you're going to upload files with text, the text should be first. You have to order it if you're using traditional HTML form to send it, or if you're using Ajax, you could use Ajax to order it. So with this, I'm just transforming the form, making sure that all the non files that are not images or whatnot are appended first to the form data, and then we append the file feeds last. Okay, so this is a hook. So it's mostly built on top of the use form, but you just add this transform and it exposes the same method and everything. So if you want to upload, so it could work. So you don't need to use form with uploads if you don't have multiple uploads. So if you're doing like a single avatar like we did in the first one, you could still just upload as is. But if you want to do multiple files in a single upload, or in a single form, you have multiple files, you're probably going to be safest to just use form with uploads. All it does is a transform for you, so you just have like a clean API to do that. And of course, I'll handle submit, and yeah, this is mostly what we just do. So here with this spread, we're sort of converting it because this comes as a file list, which is not typically an array in JavaScript. So this will convert it. You could also use array.from. I think I also used that in one of the samples I'm going to show. This could just turn it to an array of files and then get set to set data. So all this again will be transformed in the use form with uploads to make sure that it's in a shape that Skipper, which is the file upload handler middleware in Sails. Right, so that's it for multiple uploads. Let's look at but you're gonna be like, okay, I'm typically not gonna just upload just images, right? You're going to upload stuff. Yes, I got you. All right. So this is upload with text, which is typically what you're gonna have. Let's go to Kelvin. Gonna type in my email in here. Then we could put an avatar. So we upload that. It's uploaded. I'll show you it is uploaded. We could see it here. Yeah, see it's uploaded. And also if we look at the console, because I wanted to, so you could see everything we sent is also uploaded as well as the image. So let's look at how this work. So if you look at the, again, from the routes, upload with fields, don't want to view that. So you could see we're uploading one. Um, the same thing here. Remember, files, the name of your file you're expecting should match. All right. So we have our inputs, which is name, full name, email, then the avatar, then of course our exits. And then I'm just logging this to make sure to show that it comes through. I'm not storing it in the database. I have examples to show you how you would typically handle this. So when you do your upload, so let's say typically you want to have like an update, so you edit profile, which lets user upload their avatar. So that means you're gonna, upload a file. Then you could, of course, catch um you should do some error handling, maybe with dot intercepts. You could also set, file sizes and all. I'm gonna have a well detailed docs in the body stack that we have all this information in there in more detail, with all the options you could give to like sales hook uploads and everything. So let's say you do that, you upload your avatar is successful. How do you associate the user with the avatar? Simple, you just, so let's say, so this I'm assuming you're creating, but you could do user.update one, passing the user ID, then passing the avatar URL, which you could structure. So you could either save the .fd, which is the file descriptor, which should be like the, because by default Skipper would generate a UUID string as the name of the file, then append the extension. Or you could also do save as, which is an option you could pass when you do here. So you could do one of the option like so. You could do save as and all that here. But I really like the UUID. And you could now do, so let's say you have Cloudflare D2, which is something I'm gonna show you how you could set that up in a bit. And then you have your own upload URL, like your upload subdomain, maybe something like at assets.salesguys.com slash. And then you just have to use that to form the avatar URL. Then you store it in the database so that when you query the user, you could also get the avatar URL. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So let's look at the upload with fields, the UI, which you just saw, nothing fancy. And notice I didn't use form with upload because, like I said, if you have like a single file upload, like even if you have multiple inputs, but so far they're going to take single files, then you're good. You could use form, but you have multiple. Once you should use form with uploads, because you just do that transform. And I told you to make sure that um all the files in a single input, if there are multiple, will get to skipper in the way that he expects. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Was getting all the data. This is, we'll just pick it the first one, and voila, pretty pretty easy. Now, lastly, what I want to show you is this complex upload, because this is like, I think this is a use case of a user of the boring stack where they have to like, okay, what if, so I call this the complex field. So maybe you have categories that are array and stuff. So it's still the same thing in principle. So let's say awesome sales product, awesome description. Then we could do this. We could pick multiple. because it works. And you can see uploaded successfully. Now when we go here, yeah, all uploaded successfully. All right. So again, I could show you the how this one work. So we could see, so this one we're using, again, remember the files, like whatever name here should match the name in the inputs. And then we do sales.uploads, all right? And you could see how the same thing, you could see how you could store it. Here we're storing the file at the file descriptor. If you want, you could store that. If you want, you could store the URL. You could construct the URL and store it, so you could just access it. It's all up to you, but this is just like all the business logic you need to do, really. Then upload complex fields. Simple. We're using use form with upload because we have lots of file. You could pick as many inputs as you want, as many files as you want. And then see, I'm using array of from. So in the first one, I was using the spread to make an array, but now I'm using array of from. You could use any one you want to make this an array to be stored. And yeah, that's it. So that's how you could literally see how simple it is. Step one, you install sales hook uploads, and then all you have to do is in your action call await sales.upload one or await sales.upload, depending on how many files you want to upload. So now this is what you do in development, because you can see it's being uploaded into .tmp/uploads, right? So in production, you'll probably want to to upload to something like S3, um, Cloudflare, D2, or DigitalOcean Spaces. Skipper has its adapter base just like Waterline, which let us have multiple databases. With Skipper, can have multiple file systems to upload to, like multiple providers. But the cool thing is, I'm going to show you how to set up for, I think the most popular one should be S3. So most people upload to S3. I personally want to start using D2 for Salescast, videos and all. So I'm going to show you how to do upload to S3, D2, and DigitalOcean Spaces. All right. So what you need to do is so in your config, you would create an uploads.js file. And here, this is just how the file is going to be. It's going to have you're going to export an uploads object, and you could even change the directory path. So maybe you still want to do file system, your local file system. You could change it to somewhere that is not ephemeral, because .tmp will be created and destroyed for every deploy. So you could put it in somewhere else. But I think typically people will always want to use something like Amazon S3. So this is how you configure it. So you install the Skipper S3 adapter, which is this. So stream file uploads to S3. So just npm install Skipper S3. That is literally it. And then once you've done that, you could do this config. So you say the adapter you want to use is Skipper S3, then you pass in the key. So I'm assuming you want to do this in production. So in your production environment, of course, you're going to use environment variables. I'll show you how I would do it, but every config in Sales is you can override in your environments, which I'll show you how to do. So for example, in environment, if in production, you could do this. So you could also do staging. You could have different setup for staging. So this will override that one we just saw in production, which I think is the way to go, really. So this is all you need to upload file to S3. I'm going to like, so this is it. You need your key, which you get from your Amazon console, your secret, and the buckets. That's typically it. So for Cloudflare R2, since Cloudflare R2 is S3 compatible, you could reuse the Skipper S3 adapter to upload to Cloudflare. How cool is that? Right. So all you still need is the key which you get for your Cloudflare dashboard, the security bucket, and the endpoint which you also get from Cloudflare. So I'm going to show you how I have this set up already because I did test this out even for Digital Ocean Spaces, and all this info you get them from your dashboard. So for Cloudflare, so let's test out Cloudflare Spaces. Cloudflare R2. All right, so I already hook up my configuration, keys, secrets, buckets in order to test this on Cloudflare because I told you the Skipper S3 is also compatible. It works without any much work, just put in the endpoints and everything it needs. And so what we'll do is since we've turned this on now, okay, so let's test this out for Cloudflare. How to just go to products. Why not? Then I'm just gonna take a couple of these and then we upload. Of course, it's gonna take a while because now we are not streaming to our local, we're streaming to Cloudflare. Beautiful, right? So let's check if it's really there. So I am gonna refresh this and you could see we're streaming those files to Cloudflare. How cool is that? And all we had to do is just install Skipper S3, then in our uploads.js or in our production.js, then we put the uploads object in there. We'll say the adapter is Skipper, which I will show you. So you could see, you see the adapter requires Skipper S3. You put your key, put your secret, put your bucket, and put your endpoint. All the information you get on the Cloudflare dashboard. Again, this will be in the Boring Stack docs in a bit. So by the time you're watching this video, which might already be there, and you could just start streaming your files to R2. The same thing for DigitalOcean. All you have to do is put in this information, the key, the secret, the bucket, and the endpoint. A complete guide will be on the Boring Stack docs. So that's it. That's all you need to start uploading files in Sails and the Boring JavaScript stack. Quick recap, Skipper is already built it into Sails. We installed the Sales Hook uploads to make it really simple, give us this nice async API with some syntactic sugar like sales.upload one and sales.upload. There are others like sales.start download. I'm going to document all that in the Boring Stack docs and all. File uploads in Sales, it's super easy and super nice. And also you have a nice user hook for React. I'm going to also make I'm going to make a composable for Vue and also the Svelte counterpart to just make uploading multiple files because still support it. So you could upload multiple files from a single file input, but we're going to use the hook to make sure that it comes to what you're uploading comes in the shape that Skipper is expecting. So let me know. I'm really curious. Where do you upload files to in production? Is it Cloudflare D2? Because I think that's everyone's favorite because it doesn't have any egress fee. I think that's what I'm going to use mostly. Why? Because you don't pay any fee when you do reads, which is great. Or is it the OG Amazon AWS S3 or you're using Cloudinary, which there is also an adapter by the way for Skipper. So you could write your own adapter. There are community adapters that are really good. Adapters to Azure, there are adapter to MongoDB, GridFS, lots of adapters out there. But let me know, where do you upload files? Yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two on how to upload files from Sails or the boring JavaScript stack, either to your local app in a folder in your app, or to any of the remote clouds that we upload our files to. See you in the next video. Thank you.